What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today we're actually going to be concluding the 5 underrated star card series that I've been doing every now and then on the channel, as honestly I'm starting to scrape the bottom of the barrel on these cards, and these 5 are most likely the last 5 that I would consider underused yet still worth using. Now, even though this will be the last one for this series, I might actually do a few more just in relation to the hero cards as well, both the most underrated and the most overrated cards, so if that does interest you, then make sure to leave a like on this video so I know that you guys are interested in seeing those ones. Anyway, getting onto the cards in this video, some of you guys might already use these cards from time to time, so it's not to say that they're never used at all, but for how good they are, they're definitely underused and underrated, as at least for myself anyway, I rarely see these out on the Battlefront. So in no particular order, we are going to go through them all, and like I said, I will explain what they do and why you should use them all more often. So the first card I'm going to mention is the Survivalist card, which is actually available for all regular classes, and this pretty much just reduces the time it takes for your health to start regenerating by up to 40% when fully upgraded. If you're a really aggressive player that likes to get up on the front lines and deal some quick damage, then chances are you're probably going to take a lot of damage yourself, and so with this card equipped, if you can survive a battle and then find a little bit of cover, your health is going to regenerate a whole lot faster with this card equipped. I'm going to show you guys a comparison of the Assault class's health regen with and without this card equipped. These both take damage at the same time, and then as you can see, the bottom screen, which is the one that has the card equipped, starts regenerating a fair bit quicker than the top screen. Now, the difference isn't really drastic, and if you don't find cover, it's often not going to make that much of a difference, but if you can get in and out of the action fairly quickly, then this card tends to make a decent impact and can keep you alive to keep those kill streaks going. Moving on to the next card, which is the Resourceful card, which again is available for all regular classes, and this one allows your abilities to recharge at a much faster rate than normal, giving up to a 28% increase when fully upgraded. If you're the type of player that likes to make the most of your abilities rather than just rely on your blaster, then this card really does make the difference more than you'd probably think it does. 28% doesn't really seem like much, but if one of your abilities takes, say, 20 seconds to recharge, then this card will reduce that to roughly 14 or 15 seconds to recharge, so it does definitely all add up. If you're playing as the heavy class on Geonosis, for example, and you're trying to take out the ATTEs, this card can make it so that depending on what abilities you have equipped, you can almost continuously cycle through those abilities without even barely needing your blaster, so not only does it really help for kills, but it does also really help for objective play as well. Moving on now to the third card, and this one is the Tripmine card for the Specialist class. Now, I'm not going to talk this one up all that much because as good as it can be, it is very situational, and a lot of the times you won't get all that much use out of it, but there are some really good uses for it that I think not too many people actually know about. Obviously, these are mainly used for setting up in doorways and taking out unsuspecting enemies, and they do deal 200 damage on impact, so they are super effective regardless what class or hero they damage. But in saying that, they do emit a laser tripwire which can give away their position more often than not, allowing people to avoid them fairly easily. When I use these tripmines, what I like to do is try and put them in kind of obscure little spots where the tripwire isn't super visible. For example, on the screen you can see this one I placed down is barely even sticking out, and you'd think that this wouldn't be all that effective, but as you can see it does still work, and you can also see that Kylo wasn't even all that close to it and still managed to die, so these things can still be pretty effective. Now, the other thing that I think barely anyone knows, and shout out to my guy Garage for showing me this a while back, but these can actually take out the speeders on crate. If you put these down straight on the ground and the speeder runs over one, it'll take over half its health, and some people actually don't know this, but you can actually place 2 down at once, and in that case you can actually one hit kill those speeders. So these things are very situational like I said, but trust me, they definitely aren't as bad as most of us think they are. Moving on, we have a card for the Specialist class, and this one is called Stealth. Now, this card makes it so that when you fire your weapon, you won't actually show up on the minimap for the enemies, and this is a game changer that I think is probably even more useful than it actually sounds. We all know that whenever you fire your weapon, the enemy's minimap kind of lights up in red in the direction that you are. However, with this card equipped, that actually doesn't happen, and so you can catch a lot of people off guard and get behind enemy lines to take out some troopers without anyone actually knowing that you're there. Not only that, but it also increases your melee damage as well, increasing it to 125 damage per melee when fully upgraded, meaning you can melee 2 times and take out all regular classes and even sometimes an aerial, which is definitely very deadly. This one really suits the Specialist class, and while I'm sure there are actually heaps of you guys that already use this one, it is actually hard to tell since it's not an ability, and so it's hard to gauge how many people actually use this card. although I dare say it's probably used a lot more than I actually think it is. Now moving on to the fifth and final star card in this video, and this one is the Assault Training card for the Assault class. This one is essentially a health on kill card for the Assault class, giving you 40 HP per kill when you've got this one fully upgraded. Now, it might not seem all that important to get health back on kill since the Assault class can fully regen anyway, unlike the heroes. However, it's super handy when you get into those gunfights where you take a heap of damage and then stand no chance at all when you see another enemy straight away. Usually in that situation, let's just say you have 20 HP left after the first fight, you're generally going to lose to the second guy. However, with this card equipped, that 20 HP will instantly become 60 HP after you take out the first guy. And if you can take out the second guy super quick, then you can buff that all the way up to 100 HP instantly again. And so this card can cause a kind of snowball effect if you can just survive those 1v1s, allowing you to stay alive longer and keep those kill streaks going. Again, it's hard to say if this one is underused or not because it's impossible to tell if my enemies or teammates are using it, and so again I'll probably get like 50 comments saying I use this all the time, but it's hard to gauge, and so in case people aren't using this one I thought I'd throw it in here regardless. So anyway, those are the fourth and final lot of 5 of the most underrated star cards in Battlefront 2. Again, these ones, like I said, are starting to scrape the bottom of the barrel for this one, but I do still rate all of these cards, and I definitely wouldn't just make this video for the sake of it if I didn't actually think these cards were worth it. If you guys would like me to do a follow-up to this episode and touch on 5 more cards that are either underrated or overrated for the heroes, then make sure to leave a like down below to help support the channel. If you have any other cards that you think are underrated, then definitely feel free to let everyone know down in the comments, as I'm sure there are probably some that I've still missed out on. If you are new to the channel, then feel free to subscribe and turn on your notifications so you don't miss out on any more Battlefront 2 videos or live streams. Thank you all so much for watching, you guys have a great day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.